Okay, Arif is asking, how do you close the POS the first time? When you try with the X, it gives you an error that you need to use the proper exit button, whatever that is. It's something from our programmers. I'm not exactly sure why they need to do that, but the proper exit button is here in more functions. And then you have to go in list manager functions and then exit from POS. That'll close it. There's a keyboard shortcut to that, Control F10. You could also put that button directly in the list of buttons here. We're just saving real estate on the screen by putting it in a list, but you could theoretically put it on the screen. But once you used it once, you don't need it anymore. You can just click the X. It's a requirement for the very first time you close it, but after that, it should not bug you anymore. Just doing a quick presence check. I see we're missing 2 people, but I think the rest is there. So let me mute myself. I'll give them a quick call and I'll be right back and we'll get started. If you get the error, the time error in LBOS, that's because your computer goes into standby mode or hibernate or something. Turn that feature off in your screensaver. Keep your screensaver, but you turn the feature off in the display properties, and you should be okay after that.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Okay, let me give these guys a call and I'll be right back and we'll get started. Okay, guys, I believe everyone is here. So we're still missing one guy, but they can join later, I guess. Nick, I'm glad to see you made it after all with your internet problems. We'll try and record it for your guys if they can't make it. Okay, so let me start by sharing the screen. There we go. So before we get started, does anyone have any question on what we saw so far? Something you had time to play with that you hadn't thought of during the class? You can do a quick recap if there's anything before we get started. All good? Oh yeah. So the prices, promos, and coupons. So we're going to see today every type of promotion or price model that you can do. And we're going to see a little bit of the preferred shopper module because there's a lot of promotions possibilities in there too. So maintenance, we saw yesterday pretty much all of maintenance, but we kept in the item table, we kept the price, cost, and inventory tab for today and tomorrow. So that's what we're going to be seeing today, the price tab, along with a few other menu items that I skipped yesterday here. So let's get started. So the LBOSS price tab has multiple capabilities. We're going to go through the list of all these fields together, the different method types, the batch TPR engine, and a few of the discount tables and transaction completion deal tables. With all that, you're pretty much able to manage 99% of the promotions out there. Before we get into that, I realized that I have not spoken about the filters and global modifications, the mass changes in the system yet. So I think we're going to spend a few minutes on that before we get started. That's a really useful tool in the item table. And you can also use that to send some filtered items to a promotion batch. So the mass changes in LBOSS, the way they work is you need to filter on a certain field with a certain value. You can set more than one filter to fine tune your result set. And when you have all the items that you need that are in the filter, then you can go ahead and do some mass changes on them. So in order to set a filter, you need to click on here on top of the toolbar. There's a little F/M button. When you click that, it brings 4 yellow buttons and 4 green buttons. The yellow is for the filters and the green is for mass changes. So let's say you want, let's keep it simple for a start. Let's say you want all the items in a certain sub-department. You will need to set a first filter. So the yellow F button here, when you click it once, look at the bottom of the window here. It says filtering mode. Right click on the field to set. So I want to go filter on the sub-department. I would go here in POS tab or quick tab, doesn't matter. Same field if you recall from yesterday. And right click on the field to set. So I'm going to right click on my sub-department. And it pops up a little filter window. It says, this is a numeric field. What do you want to filter on? So I want to filter on that to be either equal to, greater than, smaller than, different than, or between 2 values. This is a numeric field, so these are the choices offered to me. So right now I want items in sub-department 10, for example. I'm going to go equal to 10. I just set a filter. You can see that field is yellow. That means there's been a filter on it. I haven't applied it yet. I just set it. it gives me the choice now to put some additional filters. So I'm going to put another one just for the sake of demonstration. I'm going to right click on follow subdepartment. Oh, this one's a logical field, on or off. So I have only one choice. Do I want the flag on or off? I don't have that little drop down list for the different choices. So I want the ones that are subdepartment follow off. Okay, I have another yellow field, means I have two filters now. So I can filter on as many conditions as I want, and when I'm ready, I just click the yellow A here to apply my filter. And don't be afraid to play with that. This cannot break anything. Worst comes to worst, you close the maintenance window, you go back in, and you're back to default. So what's dangerous is the mask changes, the green buttons, but if you play with the yellow ones, don't be afraid, you can't break anything. So I clicked on filter, right click the F, right click on subdepartment, set it equal to 10, and right click on this flag here and set it to off. So it's going to return me the items that meet those conditions. So when I click A to apply it, I get a list. Okay, here's the list of your items that meet that criteria. So when I click OK, see the little navigating arrows here to go between the different items? They're red. That means I have a filter set and I only see my filtered items. So this is a way to set some filters. Now that I have a filter set, I can set a global modification, a mask change. So that would work with the green M button. If you click that, you can go click on any other field and set a value. Let's say I want to take all these items and raise the price by 10%. I would go on the price tab, right click on my base price, and I can, here it's a currency field, I can hard code a value, I can add a dollar value, I can subtract a dollar value, or I can add a percent or subtract a percent. So in this case, we're going to go add percent. I want to add 10% and I want it to end with 9. Click OK. I didn't do anything yet. I didn't apply my modification. I just set it. If I want to apply it, I need to click on that green A, apply modification mode. When I click that, it's going to give me a first warning that says, hey, you're about to do a mask change on the price table, but you didn't filter on anything in the price tab, like the price level, the price target, and all that. So that will cause it to modify all the price levels. Are you sure you want to? You go, yes. Then another warning, hey, you're on the reg price, so do you want to create that reg price if they don't exist? You go, yes. Then a final warning, hey, are you really sure you want to do that? This is irreversible. So you go, yes. And I get an error. Isn't that great? Let me see what that is. Yeah, okay, no biggie. My bad. So let's do this again. We're going to go filter on subdepartment, then follow subdepartment off, then apply my filter. Here's my list of items in the filter. Click OK. I see my red little arrows here, means my filter worked. And global modification. I'm going to go on here. You know what? Let's filter on the price level. Equal to price level 1. I'm going to go modify base price and add 10%. Then apply my modification. I get my warning. Irreversible, are you sure? Yes. And done, thank you. And it raised my prices by 10%. I can filter on any field and modify any field, and those windows are dynamic. The pop-ups when you try to filter or modify, they will vary according to the field you filter or modify on. See, if I go on the numeric, I get equal to, greater than, smaller than, different than, or between. If I filter on the alpha field, I get equal to, begins with, ends with, includes, or not equal to. If I filter on the flag, well, it's on or off. So this will vary to give you different choices depending on the type of field you filter on. So yellow F is filters, yellow A to apply filters, C is to clear and start over. V is useless, is to view the filter, but no one ever uses that, so you don't really need it. It's SQL field numbers anyway, so you won't recognize them. So you're mainly going to use F and A, and then M and A. Let's say I want to turn the taxes on instead. Instead of raising my prices, I go green M. I already entered one for the price. Do I want to reset it? I'll say yes. So green M, turn on the tax flag, right click, I want it on. And when I want to apply that, I click the yellow A. Are you sure you want to proceed? Yes. Boom, all my items now are taxable within that subset of the filter. So that's your filters and global modifications. Just wanted to make a little overview of it because it's pretty useful. You probably noticed in any of the tables that you go, whether you're in items or in customers or in operators or whatever, if you type a number that exists, let's say I type number 4 and I go enter, it brings me to item number 4, right? But if I type a number that doesn't exist, it prompts me, hey, I don't see that PLU in my database. Do you want to create a new one? So every field will be blank. If I click new, I'll create that item with everything blank. Or do you want to copy the one that you were on? If I was on the salad dressing and I typed in that number, if I go copy, it'll bring over all the information on that new PLU and I can change it. If I click new, it doesn't bring anything. You just have a blank new item. And then always is, so it stops asking you the question until you close and reopen maintenance. Arif is asking a question at the bottom. It is indeed a two-step process for the filters. First, you set your filter on any field you want. And then when you're ready, you apply your filter. And that shows you a list. You can go through it to make sure that you have the right items. And when you click OK, you're now filtered. So when you scroll through items, you only see the filtered items. That's the first step. And then if you want to do the modification, the mass change on it, it's the same way. You set it first with the green M. You click the field you want to modify. Let's say I want to put a bottle link number 1. You right click, you put 1. And when you're ready, you can put some other modification. You can put more than 1. And when you're ready, you click A to apply it. So that being said, let's go have a look at some prices. The first field, price like code. This is when you have some items that are always the same price. Let's say Coke and Diet Coke, for example, in the sample database, it's number 6 and number 7. Let me clear my filters. Number 6 and number 7 is Coke and Diet Coke. They are always the same price. I've never seen a promotion that puts Coke on special but not Diet Coke. So instead of maintaining two prices, what you can do is go on the Diet Coke, and here the price like code, you can point it to the regular Coke. It puts it in green here just to be a little bit more visual to show you, hey, you're not pointing to yourself. And then internally in the database tables, there is only one record for those two items. It points to the same record. So whether I change it here to 69 cents, or if I go to the Coke, now it's 69 cents as well, right? And if I change it here to 59 cents, and I go back to the diet is also 59 cents. So you can change it at any of the two locations, any of the two items, and it affects internally the same price record. So that's your price like code, and you can have as many like codes pointing to the same item as you want, and you're able to save some maintenance time with that. There are some changes coming up for that, some enhancements of that functionality. Be able to distribute them when you get some promo batches, and it's a long story, but there's some nice changes coming up on that, which I will be sending a newsletter on as soon as it's ready. Right, Scott? So next field, the price target, PAL. I don't want to get into this for multi-store environments, but I will show you that it exists. Just really quickly, if you go in your terminal list that we saw yesterday, registered terminals, you recall there's a bunch of groups in there, and then you put their respective lanes in the groups. Well, in the case of multi-store environments, you would create, if you have multiple price zones, pricing different across provinces or states, for example, or you would create one group for each of these price zones, put their respective LBOS in those price zones, and turn on the price flag on that group. If I do it on group 001 here, for example, just for example's sake, I turn on the price flag on that group. Well, when I go in there now, I get the choice. Is that price for PAL for all lanes or just for terminal 1? This is the way we maintain multiple zones, and then I can switch between one and the other and change the prices separately on them. I don't want to get too much into that. I don't want to confuse you. Just know that the capability is there of handling multi-store pricing. Price levels. We saw a little bit of it yesterday, but if we get into detail with it, if I look at this item on price level 1, it's let's put a realistic price, $2.69. If we go on level 2, this item is $3.49 with a $2 rebate. I could simply put $2.29 instead and forget about the rebate. I'll go blank that out. And on price level 3, it's $3.49 with that $2 rebate, for example. And then I'll even make a price level 4. If I go to level 4, see everything is blank, but there's a 20% on there. So it's always going to be 20% cheaper than level 1. So if we go demonstrate at the point of sale how that all works out. So right now you can see I'm working on level 1. There's a stairs with a $sign and a 1. If that icon is not there, don't worry about it. You're still working on level 1. It starts showing up after you change levels. There's a few ways to switch levels in the point of sale. One of them is very simple. You go in the buttons and forms and you create a button to switch the price level. Right here in buttons and forms, I know we didn't see that yet, but I know that probably half of you guys know how that works already. So buttons and forms, you create a new button for price level. Actually, it's already in the list. Price level is right here. So I can put that on the screen. Go to forms, put it, let's put it here. I'm gonna get rid of the find account button and put the price level instead. So price level, I go to price level. See my icon changed now? I'm working on price level 2. So if I trigger my item number 1, level 2 is $2.29. Right? Level 2, $2.29. If I switch the price level now to number 1, I go 1, price level. Oh, it updated my price to $2.69. If I switch to level 3, it updated to $3.49 with a $2 discount underneath. $3.49, $2 discount. And then if I go on level 4, it's 20% off of level 1, which is $2.69. So we should see 2 separate lines for that. If we go 4, price level. Here we go. Here's our 20% discount. So that's one way of triggering it, but quite honestly, I don't think a whole lot of people use it like that. This is relying on the cashier way too much. Another way is we could use the scanner in certain situations if you have maybe a promo card or something without using customer accounts, and we can use the scanner definition table to trigger a certain price level when you swipe that card. We'll see that Friday how to use the scanner definition table for custom barcode programming. And the most popular way is by customer account. So if you go in your customer accounts in the back office, which are here in, well, the buttons right there, customers. When I open customers, I like to open side by side my risk level and my client level. I know we saw that yesterday, but you got a quick shortcut on it here in the account menu. If you click on account view, the fourth options from the top, it opens customer, risk level, and customer level side by side. So you can look at your different tables here. So this account number 1 uses a client level 2. Client level 2 tells the system to use price level 2 right here. And it also gives an additional 5% discount off the total of the sale. So if I open this account number 1, account number, I will open, let's say Peter's account. See, we're working on level 2 immediately as soon as I open the account. And if I ring up my PLU, here's my level 2 pricing, $229. When I subtotal and cash out, it gives me an additional global discount 5%, which is triggered by the customer level here. If I blank that out, I will only get level 2, no additional discount. That's just the way the sample database is configured, but it's pretty malleable. If we use level 3, account number 3, that guy is set on customer level 3, which gives you regular price level, but 10% discount, right? So there's all sorts of combinations of flexibility you can do in there. While I'm in customer accounts, I think before we go to the different pricing schemes, I'm going to talk to you about the account discounts that we can get here. If you go in the account menu, there is a discount table. The discount table is part of the preferred shopper module. You don't get that unless you buy the preferred shopper, which gives you a few things. It gives you some loyalty points that you can accumulate and redeem. Gives you a lot of customer history. And also it gives you access to this table, which gives you more control over your discounts. Instead of just giving a 10% global discount here, you can go in the discount table and then control for each sub-department and for each client level. So you can go sub-department 10 groceries. For clients of level 1, they get nothing. I leave that all blank. Then I'm going to create another record, but for clients of level 2, grocery on level 2, they get 25% if the item is not on sale and the multi-purpose flag is not on. What that is here, MPF1, it's on the item table. You have MPF flag here. That doesn't do a whole lot, but that's one of the things that it affects. The discount table, you can control sale or not, and in relation to that MPF flag, on or not. So on subdepartment 10, for all the clients of level 2, I get 25% if the item is not on sale and that multi-purpose flag is off. And if it is on sale, I only get 10%, for example. And then I do each of my subdepartments one by one for each client level. And that gives a lot more flexibility on the customer discounts. There's a little cost flag here. If you turn that on, it becomes cost plus. So that gives you cost plus 25%. We didn't see cost yet, but there's a cost tab on your items where you put a case quantity and a price for that cost. That gives you a unit cost. So it's going to be that unit cost plus 25% if I turn that flag on. Excuse me. So price levels are triggered by customer accounts, and these customer accounts also have possibility of either a global discount here or sub-department discounts in that table. So this is how we can use loyalty. In addition to that, we got some product reward programs in the customer accounts that we can use. The way this works is you create a promotion ID, you make up that number 111. This is a new one. And then you put a trigger quantity. And after you reach that threshold, you're going to get a certain discount rate. A lot of the time people put 100% discount on there, but it's pretty flexible. So what's a promo ID? I will show you. You go on your items that qualify for that promo ID. Let's say a medium coffee. So promo ID 111. So this item will qualify. And I go, this is a coffee card. Promo. So trigger quantity 5 and discount rate will be 100%. I could put 25 in there and just, I want to give it for free. So, and then client level 0, that means that's for everyone. You don't need a client level. If I put a 3 in there, it's only going to apply if you have a customer account of level 3 in the transaction. So I'm going to leave it to 0. I want to give it to everyone. So I just made up that 111 number, gave it the description I wanted, and told it after 5, you get 100% off. So if I take an account, let's use account number 2. To account number. This customer, if I sell my coffee, did I send it down yet? I don't think I sent. Hold on. I've been doing some changes and I haven't noticed if I click my satellite icon to send it to the registers or not. So instead of going to backtrack what I did, I'm just going to go here in the tasks and go deploy all changes. That should pick up everything and send it to the lane. Remember that from yesterday, from the first day? So now I should be synced up. So if I open an account, if I just sell the item without an account, my medium coffee is just a regular item. But if I sell it with an account, I go to account number. Here's Mary Peterson's account. And if I sell my medium coffee now, it gives me a message, hey, buy 4 more and get 1 for free. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the 5th one is a reward product that gets there for free because I have 100% discount on it. I did all that across a single transaction, but if I use Paul's account, then I do the same thing. I sell 2 and cash it out. If I wait probably a minute and a half or 2 minutes and I start a new transaction, it'll say buy 3 more and get 1 for free. And so on. It's not limited to the same transaction. It accumulates in your account. Yeah, it's not processed yet, so I can't show you. Give me a sec. Here we go. So see, second transaction, buy 2 more and get 1 for free. And if I do it tomorrow, it's going to say buy 1 more, and eventually I'll get my reward product. Julien is asking a pretty pertinent question. I set it for client level 0, so everyone gets that discount. He is asking how we do it for level 3 and above. I can't really do that. I'm sorry. I can do it, but you're going to have to create a copy of that promotion for each of the client levels above. So if you need it for level 3, 4, and 5, you would create 3 records for level 3, 4, and 5. There's no option for above a certain level. There's also the points reward, but that's a whole other class on itself. But really quickly, you can give points either on certain items. This item gives you 25 points when you sell it. Of course, you need an account to accumulate those points, but so you can set a certain point value on each item, and you can also put that on your tender key. If I hit cash now, this item is 759. I get 759 points when I hit cash because my cash tender key in the settings, I'm telling it, give 100% of points. This is all configurable. You decide the ratio and the number of points you give and how much a point is worth, but it does accumulate. And then these points, you can just have a point tender button where the points have a monetary value, or you can use this here, the account menu, points rewards. And then the point reward can be issued either as a printed coupon, a gift card with an amount, or a $1 discount barcode. Okay. So gift card, you need 10,000 points to get a $20 gift card value, for example. Or you need 10,000 points to print a coupon, PLU number, blah, 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 and then you create that item as a coupon with the dollar value that you want. That's all part of the preferred shopper module. There is the transaction completion deals. I mentioned it briefly yesterday, but let's go through that. Transaction completion deals, basically you give it some trigger conditions, and when you meet these conditions in the transaction, you give an action of a rebate. And these can be triggered against or applied to either the total of the transaction, a certain subdepartment number, or a PID number. Remember I was telling you can use PID field for multiple purposes? Well, that's another one of them. So I could go on all my qualifying items, let's say, whatever, all the pastries. So let's grab a chocolate muffin or something, chocolate croissant. We're gonna put PID number 123 on that one. And then chocolatine PID number 123 on that one. So if I have here $10 in PID 123, so $10 worth of pastries, I would put all the pastries in promo ID 123 on my qualifying items. So if I meet that condition, I am going to give 10% on the total of the sale, for example. I'm going to send that down just to make sure. Remember, everything I do in the back has to be sent to the point of sale. And now if I sell a few chocolatines and a few chocolate croissants, when I reach $10, oh, my promotion got triggered this year. Okay, so when I subtotal and cash it, I get my rebate of my transaction completion deal. I'm giving 10% on the total. So this is all triggered automatically, and you can put multiple conditions to give the same action. You can hit the plus sign here to add multiple conditions, as many as you want, and it has to meet any of these conditions, not all of them. So it's a little flexible. You can go in number of items or in dollar figures, and you can check against or excluding a certain PID, qualifying items, a certain subdepartment, or the total of the transaction. And same thing for the action. You can give a percent or a dollar figure on either the total, qualifying items, or a subdepartment. And you can exclude these items if they happen to have the same PID number. You can exclude these items from the trigger amount so that you don't give promotions on promotional items. So that's your transaction completion deals. Any questions so far? I know I'm going a little fast, but at any point, don't hesitate to stop me and ask for precisions.
Yes. Let me how explain about that. We customer using something like that, but the customer has to reach some for example $50 or $100 in the south, and
okay.
Then when they reach that amount, they using multiply prices for one item. For example, if you reach $50 one price, if you reach 100 another price for the same item. And
okay. In that case, what you could do is create multiple deals, Rosendo, one for $50, one for 100, one for 150, and then give different percentages on the qualifying items.
Mm-hmm. But another thing is supposed to put the item is not included in the amount.
Right. This is why we have exclude for trigger amount.
All right, and then you're supposed to put the one period for for example 1 week, 3 days, 1 month, depend, because this is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is kind of a permanent thing. You have to delete it when you're done.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm thinking we do have batches, price batches that we'll see after the break, which this one has a price start date and a price end date, but it's mainly for this type of pricing structure. So I'm thinking making a batch for a certain price level, making price level batches, and then we can trigger the price level not with customer accounts, but by doing a bit of customization on your subtotal key in buttons and forms. That's not very user friendly. It requires the help of the dealer that installs it, but it's certainly feasible. I just don't want to confuse people too much. Let's go through the basic stuff first, and then we can look into that. But I'm certain I can achieve that, Rosendo. It's just I don't want to spend a bunch of time and confuse people on that. But I'm positive that triggering the subtotal button, we can do some calculations in there and check against the value of the sale and switch the price level 1, 2, or 3 based off that subtotal key. And then we simply create batches for these price levels with the proper prices. A little bit of maintenance, but still feasible. But yeah, guys, don't hesitate if you have any type of questions like that. My pleasure to stop and explain. So prices here, we just saw price level and price like code. Let's go through all these price fields and see what we can do with them. After that, I will show you the batches, the temporary promotions. There's three fields here: SRP, size, and factor. These don't really affect your price at the point of sale. They're mainly there to print on labels. Just really quickly, if I go to print a label here, let's take a label type C. So see my Oreo cookies, they're $2.69, but they're 59 cents per 100 gram. So it uses that field. It's 455 gram for a factor of 100. So it divides base price by the size. That gives you the number of the cents per gram, and then multiplies by 100. And that's how we come up with that 53 cents or 59 cents per 100 gram. You don't need to fill that in. You can leave that blank if you want. Just know that if you want, you can print that on labels. SRP is the manufacturer suggested retail price. So a lot of people don't really use that, but you can print it underneath each item if you want. It just wastes a lot of paper, so it's not very popular. You can also print it on labels, of course. If we go here in the system settings, on the PLU tab, we can print the SRP, and we can print you saved based off SRP. So I'm going to print both just to show you. So Oreo cookies, regular price, this is your SRP, and then this is how much you saved. It does the difference between your actual price and the SRP. And then you got a total you saved at the bottom if you have more than one item with that. So method type, base price. This is as simple as it gets, is the price of the item and the price for that quantity. So I sell one item for $2.69. If I put $5 for two in there and sell that, blank that out because I don't want it to show. So $5 for two, I sell my item. It's actually $2.50 each. Okay, so it shows one, add two for $5, $2.50. If I use my quantity key, I go to quantity and then sell my item. I get a single line. Two, add two for $5, $5. If I sell just one, I get one, add two for $5, $2.50. And if I use a regular item with just a price and a quantity of one, it's just a normal line. If you want package prices that trigger only when you reach the package threshold, you need to use this package price here. So base price, we'll put 79 cents for one. Package price, $2.39 for three. Sorry, $2.19 for three. So this way, the first one is the full price, 79 cents, right? Second one is also 79 cents. And then the third one adjusts its price to meet that 219 total. Of course, the item is taxable, but so that makes it 219 because it needs 3 to trigger that price. So it only triggers when it reaches that quantity threshold, and it adjusts the price of the last item to make it match. If you want to be able to mix two different barcodes with the same promotion. This is strawberry jello. I have raspberry jello here. If I put the same package price, I can group them with a mix and match table number. If you recall yesterday, I showed that to you really quickly, but in the PLU menu, you got mix and match table. There's nothing in there except just a number and a description. So this number one, I called it Jello 79 cents each, 3 for $2.79. Should be $2.59. Okay, so my mix and match number exists here. I can double click, go grab my link number on both items. They're both pointing to mix and match table number one. So if I mix my flavors now, I go 8, 9, 8, 9, and 8. It still triggers my package price. Hold on, I didn't send all that down. Here we go. So any combination of these two items still triggers my package price because they're in the same mix and match table number. If I have a different price, I have an error. Let's put that one $2.29 and send that down. That's an error in pricing. They're in the same mix and match table, but they have a different package price. So when I sell it here, they don't trigger. Okay, see, they're all full price. I can still sell it, but then my back office has an error message. Let me close a few things here. My back office has an error message that says, hey, this item is in mix and match table number one with a different price than that item. So you get a warning in the back office, hey, you got a price error on these items. LQD, limited quantity discount. We can put a certain price, but for a limited number of items. Let's say the box is $4.49 normal price, but you get a limit of 3 per customer to have them at $2.59 each. So LQD $2.59 for 3. After that, they're all $4.49. I'm going to send that down. And when I sell it, first one is $2.59, $2.59, $2.59, and then all the subsequent ones are $4.49. This is one way to use the logic. Some people want to use it instead so that you need a minimum purchase. So the first 3 are $4.49, and then when you buy at least 3, they fall at $2.29 each. So if I do it this way, it also works. More expensive at first, and the cheaper they get. Well, not the cheaper they get, but they get cheaper at a cheaper price after a certain threshold. So that's your limited quantity discount. This is to trigger a certain number of points bonus when you buy this item. It gives you additional points. And then the discount dollar and percent value, we already saw that, but just really quickly, if you add a certain discount, it shows up as a separate line underneath the item. So number 3, I get my item and I get my 50-cent discount separate here. It's pretty rare you're going to use that on a regular price. Normally, it's only on promotions that you put that, unless you have a permanent promotion or something. But capability is there, either in dollar or in percentage. the margin. It shows you a margin based off your cost. Let's use an item that has something more substantial. See, this guy here is, let's put a case of 12 for $20. That gives me a unit cost of 167, right? If I go on my price tab, I'm selling it for 199. So my current margin is 16.25% based off that unit cost and that price. Well, you know what? I want all my margins on that department to be 35%. So I want to put 35 and click calculate. It just updated my price to 256. That is 35%. That's 34.89% actually. With the rounding and all that, that's the closest it could get to 35. So 256, and it works. But that's ugly. I want my prices to end with 9. So I can put last digit 9, click calculate again. Oh, it went to 259, and that's 35.65%. That's the closest it could get to 35 with that last digit. So that margin calculator comes in pretty handy. That's a good occasion to use your filters and global modifications. Let's say you want all the items in the grocery subdepartment to have a 35% margin. Well, you go filter on it. Remember the filters, so yellow F. Go on here, right click on subdepartment, equal to 10, give me the subdepartment 10, and apply. Okay, here's my list of items in that subdepartment. And now I can go on the price tab and do a mass change on the margin equal to 35 and apply. Nope, I forgot to filter on my price level again. Here we go. So filtered on level 1 and subdepartment 10. And I put a 35 in there and applied. So all my filtered items now have a 35 in that field. It did not affect the calculation, as you can notice, okay? But I did fill in the margin field. I still have my filter set. See, my arrows are red. That means I have my filter still set. Or I could click the A again to reapply it. Doesn't matter. Okay, as long as I have my filter, if I go in the edit menu, I can click on calculate price for all filtered items, and then it will calculate that 35% here for all the items in my filter. And we look like we're good to go now. If I scroll, I see very close to 35 for everyone. So that tool is pretty useful to a lot of managers. They love that. No questions? All clear? Yep. We have some ways to trigger the item that you're currently on. We saw it briefly yesterday, but the ECL tab that you see here stands for Electronic Coupon Link. What that is, it's a little similar to the transaction completion deals that I showed you, in the sense that you set some trigger conditions, and when you meet these conditions, it triggers the item that you're on in the transaction. And the item that you're on 99% of the time is going to be a coupon. So let's create one. Let's create a new one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 item number, enter. It doesn't exist. So do you want to create a new one, blank, or copy the apples that you were on? I'm going to say new one. See, everything is blank now. This is going to be, let's call that the early bird special and make it a promotion when you buy coffee, a newspaper, and a pastry together. Okay. So early bird special. And I want to give $1.25 of rebate when I buy any size a medium coffee, a newspaper, and a pastry together. So $1.25. And we're going to go here in the POS tab and make it a store coupon. Okay, right now, this is just a normal item. Must have a sub-department now. Sub-department, whatever. And if I ring up that item 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's just a coupon item. Okay, it just rings it up the normal way, but that's not what I want to do. I don't want to have that on manual scanning. I want that to trigger based off certain conditions. So I go on the item, ECL tab, and we're going to add some new trigger condition records here with this plus sign. And here are the choices that are offered to me. We can trigger with some items, with qualifying items that have a certain PID number, with sub-departments or departments, by a certain client level, or against the total of the sale. Let's keep it simple for now. We'll do some more elaborate ones right after this one, but let's start by keeping it simple. We'll do, I want to trigger, if I buy my item number 12, medium coffee, here it is. I'm also going to put another condition. I want item number 14, my daily news, and another item, and we're going to grab, let's say, chocolate muffin, 24. So these are all conditions that need to be met in a transaction in order to trigger this item that we're on, which is a store coupon of $1.25. So I don't need to rely on my cashier or anyone to scan any coupons. You just go in here. Actually, I've been doing some changes, so let's deploy them. And if I sell item 12, my medium coffee, item 14, my newspaper, and then item 24, my chocolate muffin, it automatically triggered my early bird special item, which is a coupon. So that's what your ECL tab stands for. This is pretty flexible, and it helps for a lot of weird promotion types that store owners come up with sometimes. So let's make it a little bit more complicated. I want the rebate to trigger with any size of coffee and any pastry. In that case, I am going to delete the medium coffee, delete the chocolate muffin. I'm going to keep my newspaper in there. And we're going to go on all the coffees. So that's items number 11, 12, and 13. And I'm going to invent the promo ID number. I'm going to make it 444 for the small coffee, 444 for the medium coffee, and 444 for the large coffee. And then we're going to find all our pastries, which I don't know the item numbers by heart, so I'm going to double click in the description instead and find them. So let's see what we have. Chocolate croissant, that's a pastry. I'm going to put 555 on the pastries. So chocolate croissant, chocolate muffin, chocolatine. What else do we have? Well, let's throw a chocolate bar in there. Why not? 555. So if I go back to my coupon item now, I want to add to my newspaper any type of qualifying items, one from both of the PIDs. So instead of going by item now, I'm going to go by promo ID. I'm going to go 444 and add another one, PID 555. If this gets confusing, you can highlight one of these PIDs and put a description in there. That affects nothing except your visual. So I'm going to put in there PID 555. This is all size coffee. And 555 is going to be all pastries. That really didn't change anything, and it's not required, but I like to type it in there just to be more visual. You can also change quantities there, and say I need 2 pastries. So change the quantity to 2. Or I want 20 bucks of pastries, or I want 5 pounds of pastries. So it's flexible. Same for the items. You got these same fields. So I need to meet these conditions in my transaction. I did a bunch of changes now. I can't remember exactly what I changed, so I'm going to close that and just go run which task, deploy all changes. There we go. Point of sales processing that real quick. And we're ready to go. So now I can go a large coffee, my newspaper, and my chocolatine. It triggers my $1.25 rebate. I can use my newspaper, a small coffee, and well, that's not one. So it triggers with different items. Again, store managers love this one. ECL tab. There is a new feature for progressive discounts that can be used in there. This is still new to me, so I apologize if I'm looking for my stuff. I'm not exactly sure how it works. You need to set it to progressive. Okay, let's delete all that. I type item, let's say bananas. And method progressive. Yeah, that's what it is. So if you set the method to progressive, when you go on the price of the item, you can tell it if it's 1 pound, you get 10% discount. If you buy 3 pounds, you get 25% discount. And if you buy 5 pounds, you get it half price. Actually, those are dollar figures. If you want a percentage, you have to click the percentage box. And you can put some descriptions, of course. So this is a new feature they added. If you set it to method type P, progressive, you have to go set your price type to T, progressive discount, and give the different thresholds and which discounts when you reach that threshold. So there's 2 things left to see. There is the different price method types that I didn't show yet. There's a few ways of creating, BOGOs and weight calculated, lot pricing, stuff like that. It's going to take a few minutes, but we'll see it after the break. And then also promotion and price change batches. We didn't see the batches yet, so I will show you that and everything around it. So let's take a little break. It's 2:15. We'll be back at 2:30, and then we'll see the rest of this stuff. you have any questions, prepare them. We'll answer them after the break. You guys can go ahead and play with what we saw so far as well. Don't be afraid to break anything. If you do, I'll show you guys how to resend back to the default sample database. All good?
Yes, thanks.
Okay, see you guys in 15 minutes. Okay, we are back. You guys ready to finish this?
Yep.
All righty. Any questions before we go any further? Anything that wasn't clear so far? I know it's a lot of stuff in little time, but don't hesitate if you need more time. Or if you're like me, you're going to need a day or two to play with it before you come up with questions. So that's okay too. You can forward them by email when we're done. All right. So price method types. We haven't seen that yet. We saw all these base and package and LQD price stuff. But there's also another feature called the method type. When you double click in there, you got a few different methods. We're going to go through all of them. If you put default or blank, it's the same thing as if you put a single item. That changes nothing. It's like the default. If you put type B, multiple price, you get a little grid where you can add some lines and have more than one price, and we're still on the same price level. It's just different prices on the same level. This can be used for, one example that comes to mind is different vintages of the same wine. They all have the same barcode, but they're different prices. So you can use it for that. But 2006 will be $25.95. Put a 2009 will be $19.95. 2012 will be $15.95, and then a 15 will be $9.95. So I got all these different prices. And when I ring up that item at the point of sale, we're going to change the description to be whatever, Merlot. So when I sell it now, it prompts me, okay, which one are you selling? So that's your method type B, multiple price. If I choose one, I want the 2009, and here's my Merlot price, $19.95. You can also set one as default. If it's really rare that you sell anything else than a certain year, then you would default to, let's say, the 2009. If I sell it now with the default on that line, it doesn't prompt me anymore. It just sells it at that price. Unless if I do a price override. Hold on, that button is not on the screen yet. So let me just go put it on the screen real quick. Price override button. I am going to put it here. Okay, so now if I just ring it up the normal way, it defaults to whatever is the default. But if before I scan it, I press price modify, see I get a little icon here with the price. Now if I scan it, now it's going to prompt me. Okay, this price modify, if you use it on a type B item, it's going to prompt you. If you use it on a regular item, like Uncle Ben's rice, for example, let's send that down and use it on that. So you go price modify and then scan my item. Now it's asking me to enter the price instead of prompting me with a bunch of choices. You can go $4.59. Okay. You need to have this override allowed flag on normal items in order for this button to work. Otherwise, it's going to tell you price override can't be used on the site. So that is your method type B, multiple price. Get rid of a few things here. Limit limited quantity discount type C and type D package price. These two are obsolete. My programmers need to take that out of there because you don't use them anymore. The regular price, the LQD, and the package price are all combined into that screen now, so you don't really need those anymore. So forget about them. Type E though, buy one, get one free, that's your BOGO. If I put a type E, it grays out some other fields, and when I sell it, the first one is full price, second one is free, third one is full price, fourth one is free, and so on. It's buy one, get one free. It looks weird on the receipt now because I turned on the SRP stuff. Let me go turn that off and show you the proper way. Let's do this again. The first one is full price, second one is free, third one is full price, the other one is free, and so on. So that's how your BOGOs work. And we also have the next one, buy one, get only one free. Type F. Works the same way, but it only triggers once in the transaction. So that's your method type F. Method type G and H is for the rentable module. We're not really covering that in this training. I will show you really quickly how it works, but we won't get into the details. Here in the system settings, there is a rent tab where you set the return time. It's due the next day by that return time. And you can give a grace period in hours or in percentage. You can charge a late fee whenever it's late, which that late fee is either a button that you create pointing to a preset PLU, or you can just go use same item and it's going to charge you another rental. And then the copy identifiers. If you have multiple copies of the same item, you can tell it that the first or last X digits of the PLU number is the copy number. I'll let you play with that and read the help file if you need to, but it's we barely ever sell that rental module anyway, so, and no one rents movies anymore anyway. But it does exist. Type G is by number of hours. Okay, you can have different periods, 24 hours, 72 hours, 3 hours, etc., and give different prices. Or you can set type H, global rentable. That one is going to be due by that return time the next day that I just showed you. If you try to sell a rentable item without an account, it says you need an account before opening a rentable item. So if I want to rent it, I need to rent it to someone. So I go to account number, Mary Peterson, and now I can rent it. Okay, it's been rented out. I have a report to tell me what's out. And then the next time I scan the item, oh, it hasn't processed it yet, that's why. So the next time I scan the item, it's going to return that product eventually. Here it goes. Looks like it takes a minute or two. Anyway, when you scan it after a few minutes, it's going to tell you item returned from Mary Peterson, and you can rent it again. I don't want to spend too much time on the rental stuff anyway. Type I, weight calculated. That one's pretty useful. You know how the UPCs that come from the scale start with a 2 and have a price embedded in the barcode, like ground beef or pork chops or whatever. You weight them on the deli scale and or the meat scale, and it wraps it up for you with a barcode with the price inside it. So the way we program those in our system is, let's create one. These things are usually starting with a 2, followed by 5 digits for the PLU number. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you have a check digit, 4 digits for the price, and another last check digit. So this is the convention in most systems how to create a price embedded UPC. It's 2 followed by a 5-digit PLU number, and then you pad some zeros wherever the barcode would contain the price. Okay. So this is how the scale prints out their tags. So what we need to do is we need first of all to set price required. Hold on. This is a new item, and we're going to call that ground beef. And we need to set first the price per pound. Let's say it's at $2.87 a pound. And then we need to set the price required flag. And a subdepartment, of course. So I will send that to the registers, and because the item is price required, oh crap, 1 second. We did not see the scanner definition table just yet. We will see that on Friday. But the scanner definition table, what it is it tells the system when you scan certain barcodes, to give it some rules, whether it's a PLU, a cashier card that you're scanning, a customer account card, etc. So with this, we determine that a price embedded UPC has the digits for the price in that position where you see the blue characters. If I scan 2, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, followed by anything here, so let's put a 9, followed by 4 digits for the price, 0, 4, 8, 9. Whoops, that was here, 0, 4, 8, 9, followed by another check digit. It matches on that line. It extracts the yellow, the red digits, sends that to the PLU number function, and it extracts 0, 4, 8, 9 on the price function, right? So my price should be $4.89. So if I sell that, I go 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my PLU number. I have a check digit printed by the scale. I have 3 digits for the price. Let's put 0, 3, 5, 7, and another check digit. 1 second. I think I haven't deployed my my stuff yet. Let me go see what I have in my back office for that item. 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros. That is why. Forget about the definition table for now. I'm playing with it, but I don't want to confuse you guys. We will see it on Friday in detail. So let me just go in there again. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A check digit. 4 digits for the price, and another check digit. And here's our ground beef for $3.57. If I go again, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, my PLU number, a check digit, 0754 for the price, and another check digit, $7.54. So this is how we program price embedded UPCs in our system. The PLU number followed by a bunch of zeros where the price digits would be, where the scale prints it. So I set it to price required, so it is taking that price from the barcode because of that scanner definition table that we'll see Friday. But this isn't very nice for your reports, because if I go here on my PLU sales report and take a report for today, my ground beef is there, but I only see that I sold 2 packages for $11.11. I don't know how much weight has moved. Okay, it works like that just fine, and it sells at the right price and everything. But I want to know how much weight of ground beef this represents. So a little trick you can use for that is set this item to method type I, price method type I, weight calculated. Okay. And now if I sell the product, there's one other flag to set for that. I'm sorry, I don't know why it's not on by default. It should be on by default, but out of the box for some reason it's not on. We're just gonna go turn that flag on real quick here in system. There's a little AD button for advanced programming, advanced settings. It's really rare you're gonna have to go in there, but this is one of these occasions. If you click there, there's a bunch of little behavioral flags. I would not recommend you to touch anything in there other than by recommendation of our staff, but one of them is show weight for price type I. I don't know why it's not on by default. It should be, and I'm going to place a request for that, but I'm going to make that true. Show weight for price type I. And my item is price type I, right? And this is the price per pound here. So I am going to sell my item again. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a check digit. Let's sell $8.59 pack. So 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a check digit, 0859, and another check digit. Oh, look now, 859. It divided 859 by that 287 a kilogram or a pound, depending where you are. It doesn't really matter. So this is the price per kilogram, 287. I sold a pack at 859. 859 divided by 287 equals 2.993 kilogram just moved. I'm going to do another one. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, 5, 6, 7. 567 divided by 287 is 1.976 kilograms. If I take a PLU sales report now, I'm just going to wait for my transaction to come in. Here it goes. So now I see the total weight that got calculated based off these sales. I don't just see 4 packages, I see 4 packages for a total of that weight. So that is your price type I. So again, a quick recap. Your UPCs with price embedded needs to have a 2 for the start. This is how we recognize when it starts with 002, we know it's a price embedded UPC, followed by the scale 5-digit PLU number, and followed by just a bunch of zeros padded wherever the price positions would be, price digits. Then price required and that price type I thing, and then you're good to go.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
So pretty much like, let's say like in a meat department or like in a deli, when they have like different scales that make different tags, that'll be a way to sync them with the system?
That would be through the scanner definition table. We'll see that on Friday, but really quickly, in the scanner setup or the PLU setup, both work. There is what we call a definition table, and this is where we say, Okay, if it starts with a 2, you can see it's underlined. That means it forces that character. And is this length, consider these digits here to be the price, and then this here is all the PLU number, and then the black ones are just ignored. So we just need to create another line for your other format and put the right digits at the right position, and that would work. We'll cover all that on Friday, though. Don't worry about it. Excuse me. Type J, limited quantity. Well, we can achieve that with the restrictors that we saw in the POS tab, but what that is whenever you put type J and you put a limit here in LQD quantity, it stops selling you after that limit. You can only limit of 3 per customer, for example. Type K, extra digit. I don't think in my 15 years in Logivision I've had to use that, but it gives you an extra decimal. Maybe for jewelry stores where you sell gold by the pound or something like that, by the ounce, I mean. But I haven't had to use that for a while. Type LK, gas description. This also gives you an extra decimal, and combined with the gas PLU flag, if we go on product 101, when we sell that product at the point of sale, whoops, regular unleaded gas. So when we sell that at the point of sale, it prompts me for an amount. Please enter price. So I just sold $40 of gas, enter, and it calculates the number of liters. If you remove that L, I will show you the difference. See, you only have the number of liters here. So both are valid. It just depends how you want your receipt. What else do we have in there? Type M, no price item. That one's very simple. You put a type M, the item has no price. When I sell it, price column is blank. See, it's not a 0 price, it's absolutely blank price. It can be useful for certain types of charities or promotions, so you can track on hand of an item that you give away or something like that. Type P, lot pricing. This one also has the little grid, just like the type B with the multiple price that we saw for the wine earlier. But that one is for different quantities. One example that comes to mind is the Budweiser 6-pack cans. It's just a little plastic holder thingy that holds 6 cans together. So it's the same barcode for the can and for the single. So you would use lot pricing for that. I'll call it Bud 16-ounce can. Quantity of 1, this is a single, and it's $1.89. Quantity of 6, this is a 6-pack, and this is $9.99. Sell it to the register. Sell this product, and now it prompts me, do you want a single or a 6-pack? So that is your type P lot pricing. Type Q and R, it's part of a certain loyalty interface that goes with the banks. I'll see at the end of the class if I have time to talk about that, but we'll skip those for now. It's basically you get prompted with the number of points you have on your account. You get prompted for certain specific products that you can choose with your points, rather than using just the points as a dollar value or we're exchanging it for a gift card. You can redeem certain items for a certain number of points. And this is used for that, but I don't want to get into that though, for the moment. That one's pretty cool too. The buy one, get one free weight calculated. This is for example, that ground beef. You can set it to a BOGO, but the cheapest one is free. So I go here, I'm gonna sell some ground beef, 2 different packages of different sizes. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, check digit, 0874, another check digit. And then I'm gonna sell another package, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a check digit, 0756, another check digit. Well, this one is free because it's the cheapest of the 2. I can scan them in any order, doesn't matter. I did the cheapest at second, but I could have done it first and it still works. If I go, okay, 487, let me do a $6 one now. See, the first one became free after I scanned the second one, most expensive. So it's a BOGO on variable weight product. And then finally, the progressive discount. This one I showed you earlier, but I can recap. My coupon item, let's create a new one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is a progressive turkey discount or beef discount or banana discount, let's say. Okay. Sub-department doesn't matter. And I set it to method type T, progressive discount, and it changes to a grid. I need to go here and tell it if I sell a 1 pound, I get 1 pound or less, I get 10%. If I get, or actually and if I get 3 pounds, I get 20%. And if I sell 5 pounds, I get 30%. I'm going to send that to the register. It tells, hey, you need to use that in conjunction with ECL because you need to tell it what item to trigger on, right? So I'm going to send that. I'm going to go to the ECL and add which item it should apply to. So we're going to go type item, and I want that to go to my bananas. The method will be progressive. It's a little confusing. I gotta agree with you that it's far from intuitive, but this is explained in our help file. So you make it type T with the discounts you want for the different weights, and then you create an ECL link for the item with method type P progressive. I'm gonna send that down. I'm just gonna go make sure that my bananas are scalable, which they are not. That would be helpful. Let me do that, scalable. Normally, I would weight those bananas at the register, okay? If I type 4011, it says no information received from the scale. I don't have a scale hooked up. So I just turned on, for the sake of this demonstration, I turned on the manual weight flag so that it's considered scalable items when I use the quantity key. So let's just do that. Let's sell 1 pound of banana, 1.256 quantity, my bananas. I get no discount. If I sell more than 1 pound, actually, hold on, I think something's wrong here. Yeah, no, we're good. Okay. So if I go 5.598 times my bananas, 15 cents a kilogram. It is not triggering. Let me figure this out. Hold on. Sorry about that. Okay. No. Bear with me a sec, guys. Okay. Maybe I need to scale after all. I'm sorry, I just haven't played a whole lot with this. This is fairly new. Yeah, I think I'll have to get back to you on that, guys. I'm really sorry. I cannot make it work. I know it does work. I've seen it work. I just can't figure it out. So I'll get a crash course from my programmers and send you a quick email with that procedure. But you're supposed to be able to discount based off quantities progressively. The more you add, the more discount you get. I thought I had it figured out, but maybe not. Or maybe it doesn't want to do it because I'm giving too much of a discount. I'm not sure. I'll figure it out and I'll get back to you. But we need to show the batches before the class ends. So let's move on. Yeah, Julien, I think you might be onto something related to the scalable or manual weight flag, something like that. But I'll figure it out and let you guys know by email what I did wrong. I'm sure it's something very simple that I'm missing. But I don't want to lose too much time on this because we have so much stuff to cover, and I want to make sure we cover everything. So this is all for normal priced, regular prices, right? We can create some promotions with temporary date ranges. If you do not have the batch module in your back office, you can only have one sale price at a time. So you want to create a promotion for that cream corn, which is normally $1.29, but you want to make it for this week on sale. You go here, add, F11, add, and you click on sale. If you don't have the batch module, this bottom part, enter price name here, will be grayed out. That's probably what you get if you're in demo mode. So no worries, you can still click on sale. And then this would be the promotional price. So let's put it to 99 cents, and you need to give it a date range for that, or else it will not apply. Okay, I'm gonna go from March 1st to March 31st. The item is 99 cents in that date range. See, now I have two prices in my price window. If I send that to the registers, right now it's still at the $1.29 because I haven't deployed anything. I only did the change in the back office. But if I send that now, look at that arrow. The green arrow is now pointing to sale, right? That means this is my active price, the sale price. If you look here, active is 99 cents and it comes from sale. And the next price will be back to $1.29 and that comes from reg, and that's gonna happen on that date. If I sell my product now, which was number 5, it's at 99 cents, it's on sale. You can see the light blue arrow, that's your next price. The green arrow is the current price and the light blue is the next price. And that's how it works if you do not have the batch module. Okay. If you do have the batch module, you can add your own price names. Okay. You can create a promo 1, 2, 3. And you can add also promo 4, 5, 6. And you can add as many batches as you want if you have the batch module, and give it as many date ranges as you want. So I'm going to go on promo 1, 2, 3, and this is going to be a super special manager special, but only for the weekdays of this week. So we're going to go from the 5th to the 9th. Right now, we have two overlapping promotions. We have sale, which is the whole month, and we have promo 1, 2, 3, which is only this week. So when I send that to the registers, what's going to happen? I have a conflict in batch date ranges. When I send it, we have a best price routine in the back office, and let's make this promo for next month, for example. Let's put that for the month of April. And that one's going to be $1. So I have a bunch of prices here. The system has a verification that will check of all the ones that should be active, which one is the cheapest, and is going to deploy that to the register. If I click it, see my promo 1, 2, 3 has the green arrow now. That means that's my active price. If I scan it at the register, it's going to ring up at 79 cents. As soon as that promo is over on the 9th, you can see here the next price is going to go back to sale, this one, on that date and time, the 9th at midnight. Excuse me. So you can have as many promotion batches as you want with the batch module. Whenever you click on a price, if you have different method types, let's say you want a BOGO on this one, and you want to go this one and go BOGO, but only one per customer. So you see I have different method types and different prices on each one of these records. So all the fields you see, they're always showing you the info for whoever is highlighted in the upper part here. And because of our best price routine, it always picks the cheapest for you and deploys that to the registers. Now, let's say you are in a corporate environment, a franchisee environment, I should say, and the head office is sending you some promotions. Let's say you're the store manager and you're getting promo 123. We're going to delete this one. You're getting promo 123 deployed from your head office, but you're a franchisee, you have your say in prices, and you don't want that promotion. Well, what you can do is you create your own, you go add again, but this time you're going to select in-store. In-store, even if it's more expensive, I'll put it $2.99 for this week. In-store is higher than the other ones, but if I deploy, that one is special. It always takes precedence over anything. If it's in the right date range, the in-store will apply no matter what else you have active. In-store is taking precedence over everything all the time. We created that for the franchisee environments that want to fight the prices from their head office without screwing up the price table so much. So that's one of the things the batch module gives you, but it also gives you that in another table. It shows you the same information from the same database table and fields, but it's in a different layout. If you go here in the PLU menu, PLU batches, if I expand my promotions here, look, here's my promo 123. And if I create a promo 456 again, promo 456, put the date range of whatever next week, and $1.09. If I refresh my batch window, well, both of them show up in there now, right? So this is in grid format. It's way easier to add a bunch of items in there. So instead of going, okay, here's one in promotion, this one is also on promotion, so we're going to create another add of promo 456. We're going to put the date range from this week, this day to that day, and then we're going to put the price to $5.99, and so on and so on. It shows up in here as well, but it's way more tedious to go item by item and create those. What you can do instead is go in here and just keep scanning your items in there. I'm typing, but you can scan in there as well, and you can just keep adding a bunch of items in the list. Until you finally have the items you want in there, and then you can click on a column title just to set the date range. It sets it for the whole column, for all the records on any field you click. Mix and match number 33, method buy one, get one free. So all these columns that you see in here, they correspond to all these columns that you see in here. They're the same fields, they're just in grid layout rather than in that page layout. So if you want to create a promo for let's say a specific sub-department for the whole week, or for a specific vendor items of a sub-department, you can use filters to send to a batch. Okay, I showed you the filters earlier. So let's say I want all items from vendor 1 in sub-department 10. I want to create a promotion for that, or a category, or whatever you want to filter on, doesn't matter. So we're going to go here in the batch window. We're going to add a new batch, promo 789. And this is going to be test Alex. See, I have a new promo 789 now, but it's all blank. I could just go in there and start scanning and inputting items in there, but that's a little bit tedious as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to filter in my item window. I'm going to filter, give me a sub-department equal to 10, and then vendor 1, vendor equal to 1. So I just filtered on these two fields, the vendor number and the sub-department number. When I apply, Here's the list of all items in subdepartment 10 for vendor 1. There's only about 10 of them, 10, 15. When I click OK, I got my filter set, right? So once I got my filter set, I can go here, click on a batch, go back to my item table and go edit menu, move filtered items to batch here. If I click that, all the items in my filter will go in the last batch that I highlighted in the batch window. So price level 1, boom. And here's the list of all my items inside promo 789 now. And I can go ahead and, click on column titles or just do individual pricing. You can click in there and just type that, go back down, change that to 39 cents, change that to 59 cents, change that to $1.09, and etc. Is that what you were asking about, Arif? I'm not sure I got your question in the chat, but I think that covers it. All right. So these are all the ways to create batches. If I go on my items now, I can see my promotions are created. I didn't set the date range yet. I can click on the column title to set the date range. And there it goes. So internally, you're affecting the same records, the same database tables and fields. It's just a different layout of the information with that batch table. So those are promotion batches. Once they expire, they're no longer affecting your sales at the point of sale, but they still exist in that table. So if you want to reuse it, Coke, Coca-Cola, always does the same promotions. They just rotate them throughout the month or the year, right? So instead of recreating it every time, you can just go back in there and click the columns and change the values and reuse it, and it's going to reactivate if you're in the right date range. You can also take it and drag it into the basket. Okay, the basket is like inactive batches. Even if the dates are right and everything's right, if they're in the basket, they're not going to apply. So you can move them out of the way in there and then just drag them back when you want to use them. There's also, these are from promotion batches, but we also have price change batches. That's a useful tool for managers planning to go on vacation or leaving the store for a few days, but having to raise the price of cigarettes, for example, that are going to raise it. So you go here, you create a new batch. We'll call that one PC for price change, Coca-Cola, PC Coca. And this is going to be Coca-Cola price raise 10%. Okay. So I can either manually add my items. I only have two, so I'm not going to use filters, but you could use filters to send into that as well. I'm going to grab my regular Coke. It's going to be from 59 cents, going to raise to 69 cents. And I'm going to add again my Diet Coke. Oops. Hold on. One second. Okay, so I'm going to add my Diet Coke in there and make that one 69 cents as well. And I want that to apply next Monday, the 11th, the 12th, sorry. So I got a price change batch. Notice that the end date is grayed out. I can't type in there. It's only a price start. And when I reach that day, next Monday, this is going to overwrite my regular price permanently. It's no longer a promo batch. It's going to update my regular price at that date. So this is a useful tool for your managers as well. We can import in there, okay? If you create a comma separated file, we can load that window with a CSV file, no problem. You click on, I didn't load the interface yet, but you can click on portable device and then go browse to that CSV file. You can emulate the format of our handheld devices to populate that window. It's very simple. It's CSV with PLU number, comma price, comma quantity, comma mix and match, something like that anyway. So it's just a bunch of fields separated by commas. So you browse to it, you click import, and it loads your grid for you. We also have that capability through our own handheld device, of course. You go on it, you start scanning in the aisles and entering your promotions and your prices and everything, and then you create a batch in here, click on portable device, go grab the file, and it loads your window. Whether you're in promotion or price change. And with that, we have concluded today's training. Let me just go make sure that I didn't forget any subject. But I think we're done here. Oh, I did forget something. There's a flag you need to enable in LBOS. Maintain PLU batch name. This is another one of these settings that I think should be on by default, but is not for some reason. I'm pushing my programmers to turn that on by default. That would be here in LBOS configuration. There is a advanced button. Again, same thing as in the POS. There's just a bunch of flags in there that you almost never touch except for a few of them. And one of them is maintain PLU batch name. It should be true by default. What that does is whenever you sell an item at the register under a promotion, a batch, it keeps track of that batch name in the sale report so you know your ad loss and your ad performance. So I just did that. And I'm gonna ring up some items. Let me check which ones are on promotion. One sec. Oh, here's one, number 4. Okay, so let's go sell number 4 a few times. 1, 2, 3, 4, cash. Wait for that to come in. And with that flag I just turned on, again, file, configuration, advanced, scroll through the list until you find the one called maintain PLU batch name and turn it on, and that makes it track the history of batch sales. Once you have that on, you can come here in the batches section of the report, and all these reports, let's say PLU sales by batch, you can come here and type my promo 456 is here, and give me that date range, and here's the list of items that got sold under that promo 456. So, any questions?
Okay, Alex. For example, the supermarket, for example, they have a download from the warehouse. Those promotions go directly to the batch.
Yes. Are you talking about Crasdale?
Yeah, Crasdale, Associated, whatever, City Towns or Associated.
Town, yeah. What we do in these cases, Rosendo, is I write an import routine. You guys are going to be able to write that when you get more familiar with the system. We make the tool available for our dealers, but it's a little bit advanced at the beginning. Basically, you need to write what we call an import header for these files. We can load comma-separated files. We can load flat files, flat text, DBF, and SIL files.
Good.
So with that, we basically take the file from the wholesaler and we map the columns inside that file. We write an import routine basically. So you copy the file in our inbox, it gets processed by LBOSS, and we tell it what to do with which fields and which columns.
Okay, all right, okay.
Grasdale, I have a good part of it written already. I think you already have a copy of that report, of that routine. But we have a hard time managing the minimum purchase promotions that they make. They make quite a few of them. And sometimes in certain situations, it doesn't fit with our price structure. So that's what I'm struggling with right now with Grasdale. But probably 98% of that file that they send us is already working. It's just when they send us a minimum purchase combined with something else that makes it not feasible.
Okay, that's good if you can send me that. It's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Check with Juan too. I'm pretty sure Juan has a copy, but I will email it to you. Don't worry.
Thank you.
All right. I do have a question for you guys though. I'm a dork. I forgot to click resume on the record button when we came back from the break. So I only have half of today's date recorded. Does anyone have the full recording that I can get somewhere and put on our website for everyone? No? Okay, well, I'm sorry. I'm still gonna put the video online, but you're only half of today's day. I really apologize about that. I forgot to click resume when I paused it during the break. I might have a recording from an older session though, but if someone has it, it would be very appreciated if you can put it somewhere online for me to grab and make available to everyone. Tanya's asking a very good question at the bottom. If you omit to put an ending date to your badge, will it work? And just continue until you remove the badge? The answer is no, it will not activate if you don't have an ending date. You need a start and end date. Okay, well, it was nice having you guys around. Tomorrow we will be seeing cost and vendor stuff. So we saw the vendor table quickly yesterday, but we'll see how it ties now to your items, your cost of your items, the SKU number, landed cost for that vendor, and then we also see the inventory section. So how to track the inventory on an item and do purchase orders and receives and stuff like that. So that's what on the program for tomorrow. And then Friday, we're going to see scanner definition tables and a few little different things that are that we haven't covered yet. So thanks everyone. We will be seeing you tomorrow. And again, if you're able to send me an email with a download link of the recordings, that would be appreciated. I see at the bottom, it says this session is being recorded. So I'm sure one of you guys had it. So just drop me a line when we're done and be very appreciated. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Alex. Have a good one.
Thanks guys, see you tomorrow. Drop me a line if there's anything. Okay, see you guys.